Alright, what's going on, guys? T Torres back here for another video. Finally, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 months ago, I bought this steering wheel. I think it was like $135, maybe 140 shipped to the door. So we're going to be installing the Type R steering wheel today, and I'm going to do my best to give you guys step-by-step instructions on this. So bear with me because the video is probably going to be long because this is not a short process. Keep in mind, you're going to keep your factory airbag and all your factory buttons and controls that, you know, go along with the steering wheel. So, yep. So first things first, what we did was we not uninstalled. We just took the positive terminal off the battery as recommended from some of you guys. One of the biggest things that everyone commented on about the actual steering wheel install is that whenever you move the trim pieces, the plastic pieces, to be careful. Some say to push it out, and then some said, you know, to pry it out with a prying tool. We're gonna figure out which method works best for us, and we'll let you guys know. So here in just a second, I'm gonna get you guys inside the car, and I'm gonna show you there's either 2 or 3 bolts we have to take on the column to get out to start taking apart, you know, take the steering wheel off the column. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is, sorry if you guys hear the fan. There's a T30 right there. I've already taken mine out, and then there's a T30 on the opposite side right there. We went ahead and take that out. So that's the first step you need to do in order to take the steering wheel off. One other thing that I want to mention: make sure you have your steering wheel as straight as possible. You want to do that first. Make sure this bad boy is straight as possible. Alright, now that you've taken out the 2 T30s, your airbag should be free, and there is a couple plugs back here that you need to unplug. Looks like there's 2 and a ground, as you can see right there. So let me go ahead and take these off, and I'll show you what the airbag looks like after I get them disconnected, because I can't record and take these off at the same time. Alright, so what Lee's doing right now, he's pulling the 2 tabs off the back. You're going to push the 2 white tabs and pull up at the same time. And as you can see, he's wiggling it back and forth. That's all he's doing. And the first one was a pain in the rear. I couldn't get it, so Lee's now putting his finesse on there and getting it.
Green goes with green.
Okay, so that one is now, the second one is off. Yep. And it's color coded on the back of the steering or back of the airbag. Gray to gray, and obviously green to green clip, and then all we have to do is get the ground off, which as you can see is right there. Yeah, I saw that. I was trying to pull up and over it. There you go. Good job. Thank you.
There's the airbag.
Alright, so once again, turn it around. You know, when you disconnect, when you reconnect, gray to gray, green to green, and then of course the airbag goes on the new steering wheel. Make sure you put your ground back in, or your airbag will not deploy. I wanted to give you guys just a straight on look on what the steering wheel looks like without the airbag. So all these controls and this gray trim plastic piece, that's all going to be transcribed to the Type R steering wheel. One other thing you want to do, you want to make sure you unplug this white clip that goes into this black housing right there. Unplug that right there. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take a 10mm right here, and we're going to, since we don't have impact, that's what we're going to take off next. Alright, so finally we got this 10mm bolt off right here. Come on, focus, there we go. You ready to be on camera?
Yeah.
Big thank you to this guy right here. So next, literally all we're gonna do is just pull this entire assembly off. Okay, get that in there. Boom. There's your factory SI wheel. Next, all we got to do is take off all the controls, you know, the cruise control. God bless. And, you know, all the volume control buttons, and that's it. So, steering wheel is now off. So I will show you guys how we're going to get all this plastic trim piece off next. So big thanks again to Daniel for bringing his impact gun, because I literally took that off in like less than 20 seconds. Alright, so in the meantime, off camera, what I didn't show you guys, we took 4 screws out. There's one here, here, and where's one here and here. What that's going to allow you to do is, can you flip that over? It's going to allow you to take this backing plate off that we're going to reuse for the column piece, And so now you have the bare steering wheel, and then flip the steering wheel back over to the front. So now all we have left to do is to get this trim piece off. Be careful whenever you're trying to take this trim piece off. We're currently looking on the internet how to get that off. This trim piece is fairly expensive, so we're gonna take our time and figure out how we can how we can manipulate this to get this off, because it's all the way it looks. It's just one solid piece, so make sure you take your time on doing that. Once we finally get ours off, I'll explain to you guys exactly how we did it.
Here.
All right, so in order, go ahead and put that trim piece back. So in order to get this trim piece out of the steering wheel, flip it back over, the entire steering wheel.
Oh.
So what we did, we had a piece that was sticking up right here. We took a 3/8 extension and our ratchet, and we kind of beat it very lightly. And then as the head of this got through this rubber piece, we were able to take it out. So flip the steering wheel back over. So once we got this actual piece right here out, this entire piece, we just wiggled it left and right and it came right out. So the next piece, so I stand corrected, this is one solid piece. This whole thing is not one piece. You have pieces, you know, this is the piece itself, and then the piece that Daniel's holding, that's a piece by itself also. So I'm pretty sure it's two pieces. All right, so if you do not have plastic trim piece removing tools, I know some people on the internet said you can just push it right out, but what we did, there's two black tabs, one there, and there is a black tab there. And as funny as this is, we literally took this and we took this wrench and we easily beat the black piece out on both sides. And then what Daniel did is he just worked the rest of the trim piece completely out, and I was not afraid at all that the trim piece was gonna break or crack at all. So now what we're gonna do is reassemble the Type R steering wheel with all the controls, the airbag, and then the bottom plastic piece. What me and Daniel are gonna do, Lee's gonna go get a tripod for the light. We're obviously gonna put everything back in reverse order. So we're gonna put the controls in first, and then we're gonna put this plastic piece back in second. And then of course we'll put all the screws in, we'll put the column piece back in, and then of course I'll get the airbag out of the passenger seat. We'll get that back in. We'll get everything nice and tight, and we should have the steering wheel on hopefully in the next 10 to 15 minutes if everything goes as planned. All right, so Lee has now got us some fantastic light. So Daniel's gonna build this upside down for us so we can have a straight on view of the actual steering wheel. So he's gonna finesse the controls. You can rip this off if you need to, man. It kind of looks like it's gonna be in the way.
Yeah, peel it back.
Rip the rubber off my wheel if you please.
Just wanna work it kind of together, make sure that I don't.
Great handwork.
Oh yeah.
Great handwork. I don't know why, but I seriously thought like this was gonna be a two-piece part, like that trim piece and then this button. So it's cool that it's made all into one.
Yeah.
Get on Honda. I think I just swallowed a mosquito. Wow.
It's good protein.
I guess. Jeez. Got the left side in.
Yeah, I got this side in.
Do your thing, B.
Try not to.
If only they knew that we sacrificed the
Oh,
fan.
there it goes. Gotta work it in there. Woo, doggies.
Boom. Look at that.
All right.
All right, so next, Daniel did a great job on that. We're gonna take this trim piece.
All right.
Put that bad boy in there. Yeah, rip it off, man. It don't matter.
Get that bad boy right there.
I don't have, I don't have like a tie to that. You know, taking plastic off. You ever seen Unbox Therapy?
No.
People love to hear like the wrapper come off stuff. I don't care about that stuff. But you are the first to touch my wheel without the plastic on it.
Look at that.
So a part of you is always going to be with me when I drive.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Boom. So trim piece number 2 is now done. Next is going to be the column piece. And I'm going to stop recording for just a second, and I'm going to grab the airbag out of the passenger seat. All right, scratch that. We're not getting the airbag. We're going to do the airbag as the steering wheel is on the column itself. Easy enough.
Lee?
Yes. You can do
Oh, okay, there's 3. That's
Yeah, one ground. There should be a gray and a green. Gray and a green for the connector for the airbag. Ground.
You can do it.
You're so nicely.
Boom.
Always there to inspire me.
Master mechanic.
Master Mechanic Lee. Master Mechanic Daniel.
Alright.
Man, I cannot wait to, yeah, it looks good. Alright, so next, I'm guessing it's going to be the 4 screws that we owe.
Hang on. When you do this, make sure you tuck all the leather so that it looks nice.
Good on you.
Tuck all the leather all the way around. Alright.
Good?
Alright.
Awesome. Turn it yonder way. There we go. All right, cool. So we got to put the screws back in, those 4 screws we talked about, and then we'll actually put the wheel on the car, put the nut back in, and then we'll put the airbag back on. All right, so the first screw that we're putting back on, the one that has the washer is going to be the ground, excuse me, that Daniel's putting on right now. Just like that. Just remember, the one with the washer is the one that goes for the steering wheel control ground, not the airbag ground.
Make sure the two that are, are they all the same?
They're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. The only one that was different was the one that he dropped. I'm just kidding. Got him. Alright, so as you can see, they got one going right there. It's the same as if you were, you know, the 4 you took off for the plastic piece. I'm just trying to get an overhead shot. Perfect. Yep, screw number 2 going in. Lee, that light's killer, man. It's awesome.
Alright, this is for the bottom piece.
Yep, you got 2 go on the bottom, 2 go on the top. Alright, so those 4 screws are now back in, and then the 5th one being the ground. Remember, the ground is the washer. Voila! Boom. Awesome. Cool. Do you mind pointing out those 4 screws?
Yeah. One there.
1, 2.
That's for the top piece.
Yep. 3, 4, and then, you know, the 5th being the ground. Awesome.
15
Thanks.
here.
I don't know if I can get this on camera, but there, right here, there's an arrow that says top. Make sure that's your dead center. So off camera, we went ahead and made sure everything was aligned. We have everything lined up, and then the next thing we're going to do is obviously put the air back in and clip everything in. And the first thing you want to do is take this white clip right here, clip it back in, make sure it's good and secure, and then next will be the airbag. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is not put the airbag in. We're going to take this bolt and secure our steering wheel back in. I don't know how many foot-pounds that's supposed to go to, but as long as it's good and tight, you know, it's good for government work, so it's good to go. All right, so now that that's done, we're gonna get the airbag. And just like we mentioned when me and Lee took this off, gray to gray, green to green, and then ground to ground. Okay, so we're gonna put the gray one in, put the green one in. Okay, green's clipped in. We're gonna take our ground. The ground's gonna go at the top, so you're probably not gonna be able to see this part. Let's see. All right, the ground is now back in. All right, cool. All right, so that's that, and then we're gonna put our 2 bolts back in the bottom, back here in the column. I'll show you that in just a second. And then of course we'll reconnect the battery and make sure the horn works, and then that's how we know we also got power to the airbag. All right, so your first screw you want to put back in, just like you did at the very first process. You're going to take this screw and put it back in. Okay, make sure you get it good and snug. And then obviously you're going to do the same thing on the other side, but we're not going to record that part. So just make sure you put that one back in, and then you put the opposite one in, the one that's facing the passenger side. All right, so we just reconnected the battery. We got the steering wheel back in, so we're going to start the car, make sure everything's nice and lined up.
behind you.
Yeah, it is super loud. Awesome, cool. I'll take that. All right, so the steering wheel install was a huge success. Let me zoom out of my face. So all in all, I don't know, how long do you think that took us?
An hour.
Maybe an hour. Like I said, the biggest holdup was just me and Lee getting Daniel over here to get his impact. So big thank you. Big thank you for bringing that impact out.
No problem.
And well, big thank you. Lee's about to take some photos. Hey man, appreciate your help, man. Appreciate that. All right, so here's what the steering wheel looks like. Just from the 10 seconds that I touched it, the steering wheel feels so much better. Yeah, I'm really digging it. And I'll update you guys, you know, further down the road how I like the steering wheel on my Instagram and stuff. So make sure you guys go follow my Instagram at ttorres1183. All right, so hopefully today's video does not end up being, you know, a 20-minute video, but if it is, I tried to show you guys an actual step-by-step process. So once again, like I mentioned in the last clip, thanks again to Daniel, thanks again to Lee. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Daniel brought the impact. Me and Lee were at a dead stop. So big thank you to him, and big thank you for Lee for, you know, we used his tools in his garage. So hopefully you guys liked today's video. If you didn't like today's video, still leave it a big thumbs up. And if you did like today's video, still leave it a big old thumbs up. And if you're stopping to the channel for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Y'all.
It's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling.